if you want to support the show, any of the shows, either this or whichever show, I'm not on right now because this is just a blanket ad for all of them, and the website, you can go to bewareofspoilers.com. In the description for any of the episodes of Beware of Spoilers, there is the option to donate. If you don't want to donate that way, you can donate directly through the website. We do have that, mwpnews.com. And if you don't want to support that way, then going to mwpnews.com will help out because we have ads there. We don't want to keep it, where there's a lot of ads. There's a few ads. But the point is we want to make it so that way, we can sustain this for the long term. If people donate, we're never going to paywall anything, I don't think, as of right now. But if people start donating, we'll start doing cooler and cooler stuff. Like donations are how we get to cover stuff like Tribeca and other, film festivals. And, we may be able to bring on more people to help out. So if you want to help out the show and you want more content from us, by all means, even just going and giving us a 5-star rating on Spotify helps out a lot. But that's it. That's the only ad we'll have on the podcast ever. But here's whatever podcast you're going to be listening to. Hey, so you're probably looking at this episode and thinking like, this movie is not recent. And on Beware of Spoilers, usually we get new release movies. And you're right, this is not a recent release. This is a movie that came out, I would say, based on the episodes that I've been going through, between 2018 and maybe even 2016 and 2020. We had a technical glitch back in when we had Spreaker as our thing. I don't know if it's technical glitch or a billing error or whatever, but point is, we lost a good amount of the episodes. As Spreaker, you had to pay to host, and if you didn't pay to host, you had to, you only had like 100 hours, something like that, of content of space available, maybe even less than that. Maybe even 10, but either way, you only had a certain amount of time available on your cloud. And when that happened, we lost a ton of data. So what we had, fortunately, a lot, if not all, I wouldn't say all because there were a lot that weren't, but a lot were backed up on the on YouTube. So, all of this is to say that this is an episode that previously aired, but is not currently on the podcast feed. So, in an effort to kind of flesh out some of our older reviews and get, kind of a historical record of what we thought of these movies when it happened, we're going to be putting up the episodes. Anyway, it's just the episodes with this, every Tuesday we're going to have this, and it's going to have this notation before it. I think as of right now, as of recording this, we have enough to go through January of 2025. There are quite a few episodes that we haven't put up yet. We did put up a bunch a few years ago, in July of, I think, 2022, or 2023. But this is trying to get more of them up. It's still not all, because I know I did Fast Color because I went into Manhattan to see Fast Color in a theater at the AMC in I forgot what word I'm looking for here. At the AMC in AMC Empire. I went into Manhattan to see that, and I don't have the episode for it, which is kind of weird. But regardless, the point I'm trying to make is this is a previously recorded episode that reflects my reviews usually immediately after seeing a movie. Sometimes it'll be mine and Josie or mine and Peter, because there are a few episodes they were on for. I'm fairly certain that Peter was on for like the John Wick Chapter 2 one, or John Wick Chapter 3. I'm fairly certain Josie was on for X-Men Apocalypse. So some of these will have that. Again, there should be a shortened version of this in the description, so it will be apparent. And if you want the exact date these were uploaded initially, if you go to the YouTube channel and just look for the video that corresponds to this episode, there will be the original upload date. So, I mean, and look, a lot of it is going to be, it was reasonably close to whatever day whatever day the movie came out. Usually like that. Like, if the movie came out on Friday, like, sometimes the Thursday before. But what really instigated this was on our website, mwpnews.com, we now have a section, which is an index of all of our reviewed content, and I wanted to flesh that out a little bit better. And rather than directing it sometimes within the website, sometimes to YouTube, sometimes to Spotify, it's just easier to say demarcation line if it is pre-Spotify. If it's after the date we updated it, then it's gonna stay on the website. If it's before the date we updated, it's gonna redirect within the website, and YouTube will be there if you want to watch on YouTube. But more or less, this is probably the best way to do it. But after a little 5-minute intro, enjoy this episode from 5 years ago. Welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam. So, last week we did a historical fiction, not historical fiction, a period piece, biopic, The Best of Enemies. This week we go and we do a animated children's movie, Missing Link, which has not fared well at the box office. I mean, yeah, there's some dilution going on. Not delusion, that's the wrong word. Dilution going on, because right now, still depending on where you are, you can get the most recent Lego Movie 2, the second one. You can get How to Train Your Dragon 3, which is phenomenal. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet. You can see those. You can see Captain Marvel if you have a kid. You can see Shazam if you have a kid. But there are plenty of things out now for kids that kids can see if you need to bring a kid into a movie theater. So I think Missing Link is just kind of flying under the radar. And typically productions from Laika Studios, that happens. The movies are phenomenal, where it's like Coraline, Kubo and the Two Strings. Now this one, what was the other one? Corpse Bride. All these movies are really good at Laika, but they don't fare well at the box office. But they get these cult-like followings after the fact, and people acknowledge these movies are good. And this is another very good entry. It's another great animated movie. It's gonna make the case as to why it should be in the conversation for Best Animated Picture this year. I can guarantee it. And the runtime, I think, too, is something that's I don't know if it's hurting or helping, but it's odd. It's only an hour and a half long, and it doesn't feel quite as long as other movies. And it doesn't quite drag either. So it feels short, and it is short, but it's really good. So, function of the movie's about is you have this disgraced adventurer who's having a rough time trying to prove mythical creatures exist. And he gets a letter to say, come find the Sasquatch. So he goes to find the Sasquatch, and he meets it. The adventure is played by Hugh Jackman. The Sasquatch is played by Zach Galifianakis. They meet, and the Sasquatch, who he calls Mr. Link for most of the movie, but he wants to be called Susan by the end of the movie. The Sasquatch says to him, "Look, I want to go to the Himalayas. I want to go and meet my cousins there because I have no family here." So, what was it? The adventurer, Hugh Jackman's character, agrees to take him on, and they go on this mission. I'm a little congested right now. I'm sorry. And that's basically the movie. It's basically a globe trotting. It reminds me a lot of what was the movie? Around the World in 80 Days. That's what it reminds me of. A lot, actually. And that's probably why I like it so much. Plus, I always like this, what's it called? This planes, trains, and automobiles buddy comedy, like, get from point A to point B adventure. Those movies are always very fun to watch, especially when you have two cast members who can play off of each other so well. And about halfway through the movie, they add in the third character, who's played by Zoe Saldana. And all three of them play off of each other very well, which makes it more entertaining. And in the event that you did a movie like this, and these characters didn't have chemistry, or it wasn't fun to watch, it would just be like another another animated movie gets crapped out by, probably Paramount. What else do I want to address? This is something I wanted to point out from the trailers. Not for this movie, but for the trailers aired before it. Why the hell is there a Dora the Explorer movie? And why are they trying to make it serious? It doesn't look good at all. And I can just guarantee that movie's going to get panned at the box office. It's going to make Hellboy look like Black Panther with the numbers it's going to put up. Toy Story 4 looks kind of okay. It's just going to be mildly entertaining, I guess. It's probably not going to be as good as the first three. But back to this one. It's very funny. It's like it does borrow a joke. Toward the end, it borrows a joke from Madagascar. It's definitely worth seeing. If you have a movie and you need to bring a kid to see a movie this weekend, I would definitely recommend bring them to see Missing Link. I saw it in 3D. I definitely think that was worth it. But 100%, if you can, go see this movie, especially in 3D. So yeah, I guess we'll wrap up there for today, because this really isn't something that I can really talk too deeply about, because it's only an hour and a half long, and the plot isn't anything special besides it hits all the usual cliches that you would hit. It hits, they get joined by a woman, they have a little fight, but it doesn't go too far, and they always reunite. There's a moment where the main character gets discouraged. It has to, pull himself back up. All the things that you would find as standard in a movie like this are all there, and they're done well enough. So I don't know how much more to add to this, to this review, because it's a cliched movie, yes, but it's a well done cliched movie. And if you're gonna do a cliched movie, at least do it well. So we'll wrap up there for today. Next week, obviously next Thursday, we have Infinity War. I'll probably see another movie between now and then. But 100% Infinity War is coming up on the schedule. Not Infinity War, Endgame is coming up on the schedule, and that'll be a great one. I just have a feeling about that. So until then, we'll wrap up for today. I'm Adam. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamTaylor792. We have a 30-minute review this week that is probably going to be entertaining to a lot of people. We talk about Star Wars and really dissect the trailer for The Rise of Skywalker. So tune in for that. That'll be up Thursday at around midnight, wherever you listen to podcasts. So we'll be back with that then. Have a great rest of your week.